said first, is it connected to what part you are saying next, or there is a total disconnect? Okay. The second thing is, are you able to break down a problem into smaller pieces and then solve them? Yeah. Then the third one is, are you able to empathize with the users? Are you able to first define who are the users and then define what are their pain points? Yeah. And if there are any constraints, then what are the trade-offs or the prioritization techniques, or not techniques, but rationales while you are making a prioritization? What are the rationales you are talking about? Yeah. Then, do you understand metrics? When you define that this is my success metric, then do you have a clear reasoning why that is your success metric for this particular product? Yeah. Turn ambiguity into specifics, as in when you will be given a question, many times it will be a very ambiguous question. How you can convert that ambiguous question into something specific by defining the scope of that question by asking the right questions from me or the interviewer. Okay. And then showing the creativity. Once you have identified what are the pain points, then you need to solve those pain points. How much creativity can you bring in solving those pain points? Yeah. So this is something which interviewer is looking for uh, while you try to solve a new product design question. Okay. First of all, any questions on this?
No,
Good.
good to go.
Yep. Okay. Now, in the first 10 minutes, what we'll do is we'll quickly create a framework, okay, on uh, how to go about a product design question. Okay. I'll say a sample question. We'll not sell this question during our interview, during our session, but it is just a sample question to think about how you can decide about how you can go about defining a framework. Okay. So while you are defining a framework, uh, don't try to think about the answers at the moment. Just try to think what would be the right approach to solve this question. Okay. Let's say the question is, you need to design a product for drivers who are driving during rush hour. Okay. It is a very ambiguous question, right? Now uh, I'll just copy paste here also so that it is in your head. Yeah. So this is the question, for example. Okay. Now first we'll only design a framework. We'll not solve it. Also, we'll solve a different question. So forget about this question while solving. Okay. Just think about the framework. Okay. As I said, it will be a collaborative thing. So you guys can start one by one. Whoever wants to speak can unmute and talk. Yeah. So what is the first thing you would interact with the interviewer?
So maybe very first thing we can think of is who is the user in this case, like who will be driving in the rush hours, so that we can start knowing that what is the actual requirement of the product.
Okay. Who is the user? Okay. Anything before who is the user?
Uh,
What is basically the rush hour?
Okay. What is rush hour as in what is the context? Correct? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Guys, go on. I'll just write down what you guys are saying.
so maybe in what geography, or that could be a sub question to the context only, that what
Mm-hmm.
area we are trying to solve this problem in, Bangalore, Gurgaon, or what particular area.
Got it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we can think of that how big is this problem with the scalability part of it.
Got it.
In the context, you can also address the need for considering this solution.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We can also add what type of product we have to make. make basically like something like software or something software like YouTube or something like Ola Uber types. I'm unable to remember the correct word for that.
Yeah, got it. An application or a website or a mobile, those type of things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So any existing product that is already solving this problem.
Hmm. Okay, let's say we have everything about the context. We know who are the users, what do we know do next?
What we can also add regarding a geographical location, whether it is a city or something.
Yeah.
Maybe like trying to know the pain points around the user once we know about the user. In
Okay.
the sense of problem.
Sorry, someone was saying something. The voice was not clear.
Yeah, sorry, this was Abhishek. Yeah, I was just elaborating that, like pain points of the user in relation with the problem statement. Like here, the drivers and what problems do they have in driving in rush hour.
So how long this problem lasts? Like the rush hour, is it a 30-minute or a 1 hour or a 2 hour problem that we are trying to solve?
Got it.
Target audience.
Mm-hmm.
You can say definition of the pain points should be the next logical step. Under that, I think these things will come in, like how
Yeah.
long, pain points, all those things. So
Yeah. Correct. Okay. Let's say we already have the pain points of the user, and then what do we do next?
Uh,
You
the
can
pain
think of
points
solutions.
depends on whether it's an
We can
hypothesis or it is, you can say, you have done that market survey, so that clarification needs to be
Yeah.
what is it, put in place, whether those pain points are like well researched and then we have shortlisted them, or it's still in hypothesis stage and probably that needs to be validated. So that clarity has to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Market
so
is.
that is true for the real life problems, okay? But during doing an interview, na, you might not have that much flexibility, right? So you can ask this question to the interviewer, and the interviewer can give respective answers. Yeah.
we can we can add what are their needs.
Need whose need? Sorry.
Basically, during the listing of the pain points of the user, what are they demanding? What are their needs on a larger term?
Okay, so basically, you mean to say what are their goals? What do they want to
Yes,
achieve? Is that
basically,
correct?
yes. Basically, the whole persona of the user.
Got it.
So now you have the type of vehicles you are driving.
Yeah. So let's not go about the solution of this question. Let's just create the framework only. Okay. Once you have the pain points, then what do we do next of this question or any XYZ question?
We can basically prioritize them and come to a single problem statement.
Prioritize the pain points and define one problem. Great. And after that,
Once
hello.
we get the pain points, we
We
will
can
go for market research.
Yeah, so during an interview, na, you will not be able to do market research or these things, right? So during an interview, so this is in context to how interview goes, right? So during an interview, you will have to assume some hypothesis as per the market research, or you can ask questions which you think a market research would give us from the interview.
Maybe they need.
After prioritization part, we can add some matrices, and based on that, we can approach the solutions of that.
Okay. Let's say you have 4 5 solutions, then what do you do?
The best and the effective solutions, we have to first test it, and after that, we have to come to another one.
Great. So basically we prioritize the solution,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Cool. Take it. So in some manner, our a framework is here. Okay. Yeah. Um, okay. Just a few things here. When we define what is the context, okay, then at that moment we are asking these questions, right? One more question. Sorry. One more question. What we can ask is, see, you are working on behalf of any company, right? Or you are maybe creating your own product. So there would be some goal in your mind. What is the goal of yours to solve this problem? Yeah. What is your goal? Do you want to monetize by solving this problem? Yeah. Do you want to just onboard as many users as possible? So what is the goal you are thinking about for solving this problem? Okay. That is one thing. Any existing product? Very good. How long the problem lasts? Yeah, as someone said, it can be covered uh, in the user persona. For that user, how long is that problem lasting? Yeah. Uh, then any existing solution? What type of product are we looking at? Are we looking at a specific geography? Uh, what is the scale of the problem? Okay. What? Yeah, sorry. Someone is saying something. Okay. Uh,
Do we just a minute, Jayant?
yeah, yeah.
Do we have a competitor analysis type of things here, or something related to the geography or another?
So you can ask the interviewer if we have a competitor there.
Okay.
Okay. You can ask the user if you have a competitor, and if the sorry, you can ask the interviewer if there is a competitor and what are the features the competitor is providing. Okay. So during the interview, try to keep it as much to and fro conversation as possible. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Then need for solution is basically it will be in line with the pain point only of the user. Why does he need the solution? Yeah. Then maybe I'll add a row here and we will say define a user. Now there can be multiple users. Yeah. There can be, let's say you identify 2 3 users who are facing this problem. Then when you have defined those users, you first would want to prioritize the users also. Who is the user uh, who you want to solve for to get the best amount of the goal you are solving for. Okay. So basically, let's say you have 4 user segments and user personas, and let's say your goal is revenue. Let's take an example that those user personas are one is college student, one is a retiree, and one is a employee, one is a middle age guy who is working in a good firm. And if your goal is to monetize and increase the revenue, then you might go for the third persona who is the middle-aged guy who is earning good against who is a student or uh, who is a retiree. You need to tie those things together. As I was saying, one of the things which these guys check is if there is a good structure in the flow. Yeah. Was that point clear?
Yes.
Clear, Jen.
Yeah.
I have a
Then the
question.
next thing is, yeah, yeah, sure.
What will be our main focus? Basically, it will be the revenue side or the problems we are solving for.
So whenever you are solving a problem, okay, There will be some reason why you are solving that problem, right? That reason can be you want to increase engagement, you want to increase revenue, you want to onboard more users. Yeah, there can be any reason why you are solving that problem. That you need to ask maybe to the interviewer, or tell the interviewer that I will define this as the goal and tell a reason why I am defining this as the goal.
Okay.
Does that answer?
Yes.
Okay. Then the next thing is, once you have identified which user you will solve for, then you will go for the pain points. What are the pain points of that user? Okay. In that only, how long does the pain point will be covered in some manner? How big is the pain point? Yeah. Then also, what are the goals of that user? Okay. Both the things should be covered there. Once you have the pain points, then you will prioritize the pain points. Yeah. And once you have you have defined the top pain point, then you will decide what is the success metric I will go for. Then you will think about many creative solutions to solve that single pain point. Or maybe if you take top two pain points also, it is on you how many pain points you take. Generally, pick one or two only. Okay, don't pick more than two, else it becomes very confusing to communicate to the interviewer during the interview. Okay, and then you prioritize those solutions. Which solution has the will be the best? Yeah. Any questions on the framework?
No.
Cool. Now let's shall we go to the question which we will be solving today?
Sure.
Yep. So the question for the day is, design a product for a user who is moving to a new city. Okay. So as per our framework, what we'll do first is we'll understand what is the context. Yeah. Yeah. You guys can ask questions, ask any number of clarifying questions, and we will write those things.
So, Jayant, is this for somebody working or somebody planning to retire to a new city?
Okay, so see, these are three type of users which you called out. Two type of users. One is who is retired, who is working. I'll let you decide on those things when you come to the defining the user part.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is basically the product?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. What do you want to ask?
I want to ask that what is basically the product? What is the aim by designing that product?
Acha, you want to ask what is the goal of designing the
Goal.
product?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the goal, let's say the goal here is to onboard new users,
And what
and
is
it is
the
a new product.
the problem? Like the problem is to find him a house, or the problem is to find him a maid, or like
Okay.
what?
Now, sorry, go on.
Yeah, was continuing on that line only. That what are we looking for to solve? Because it's a very huge, like a broad question to design a product. Somebody
Yes.
moving
Yeah.
outside, but
Now these problems, see, again going back to our framework only. When you identify the problems after you have identified the user, let's say, as someone said in beginning, there can be a user who is a retiree, a user who is a who is an working class. Now both of these users will have different problems. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, until unless we don't define a user, we should not go to define a problem itself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask more questions on the context to understand what do you want to build, around what do you
Wha-
want to build.
What do you mean by onboard new users?
Let's say by onboard I mean new user registrations.
No.
Okay.
So we are doing new user registration for our app or website. Like
Yeah.
what does
So
this
it is
website
a
do? Yeah.
Let's say it is a website. It is a website, and we need to do a new launch of the website itself. There is no website at the moment. Let's say you are the guy who is the founder of the startup, and he is working to solve this pain point.
Okay. What does this startup do? Like, what is the industry it is catering to? Like,
Nothing. It's a blank slate.
okay.
So why do we need a registration? So basic.
Why do we need a registration for? We need to onboard new users. We need to have a good amount of user base for having a good amount of engagement on our portal, who we can maybe showcase to our investors that we are investing the money in the right direction.
So,
So
who
why
is
do
the
we
investor and what kind of users we are trying to onboard?
Okay, so again, going to the same thing, users, you will have to tell me who are the possible users. Let's say you want to define users. Uh, yeah, you can tell me who are the possible users.
students who are moving to another city for their studies, graduates who are moving to new city for their jobs, government employees who are
Uh,
moving to new cities for due to their transfer,
yeah, just a second, sorry. So moving to a new city, another city for studying.
studies,
What was the second one? Second one?
graduates who are moving to new city for their jobs,
Great. Third
go,
one was government employees.
government employees
Uh-huh.
due to
Who
their
have to no,
getting
who get
transfer.
transferred. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jayant, before these users, no, so the assumption is this is for people moving within the country, not from country to country, right? This is for which
Within the country in the same, see, this was a good question to understand the context, right? It is within a country between cities.
right?
Let's say the country is India only.
Yeah.
And this is aiming at the like the north south part of it, or just a pure like people moving in a closed region, like North Indians moving in North India itself, or
Nothing like that, nothing like
nothing.
that.
Okay.
Huh,
It can also include people who want to shift from any one place to another.
correct.
What are the cities that we are covering? Is it limited to just one city or multiple cities?
Let's say we are covering all over India.
Okay.
I think users could be the government employees are there. Then you have private firm employees who move from one city to another due to a new job.
Private experience. Okay.
Then you have retirees who want to maybe move to a different city and settle down there.
I think one of them could also be tourists, maybe, or explorers who like to explore new cities.
Okay.
Then you can add probably I can say um people who need medical attention for medical reasons they move.
Okay.
Probably another angle could be the same. The users could be repetitive, but another usage angle could be for
Mm-hmm.
better education. People, families moving for better education for their kids.
See, great. Yeah. So see, you guys defined so many type of users who might be interested to do this thing, right? Now, one thing which we need to keep in mind is that we'll try our best to keep users which are not overlapping. Okay, that's why when I was writing here, I wrote private experienced employees shifting jobs because we have already covered graduates who are moving to a new city for job. Yeah. So let's try to keep them as mutually exclusive as possible. Okay. So the next step, as per our framework, let's try to prioritize which among these eight user persona would you like to solve for. First of all, tell me a reason, a way how you will prioritize.
So since the goal of the company is onboarding maximum users, so that way
Great.
we can go to like who will account for the maximum set. So basically, this will be people studying and people looking for jobs. So that will count for the maximum size out of all the users.
Okay, so I'll define it as market size. Okay,
Yes.
and you said people studying, who are studying, and the second one, which one did you say?
So private experienced
Private
employees
experience.
shifting for the
Okay,
jobs.
this one, right? Yeah. Okay. Are everyone aligned, or someone has their some other view also?
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay. So
Basically,
if
the
you,
third and fourth,
sorry,
basically the third and fourth are literally similar to each other. We can combine them.
yeah, actually we can. Uh, okay. Okay. Now, if you are asked at which of the two you will go for, how will you choose?
So, if like my personal opinion would be to go for the people studying, because generally every year you see a large chunk of people getting admitted to the first year, but generally people who are doing job, if they start in one city, they tend to stay in that city and do not change the city unless they're getting substantial or something substantial. They tend to stay in the same city.
Great. So this is a type of rationale which we have to bring out in front of the interviewer that whatever I am deciding, I have some thought process behind deciding that. And what is that thought process? Okay. Now let's write the pain points for the selected user group. Okay. So we have selected a user students who are moving to another city for study. What might be the pain points?
The language barriers.
Okay.
Finding a place to stay, finding good food,
Finding good food. Okay.
Then transport challenges, like logistics.
From the current city to the new city.
No,
Is that
within the new city, like commuting from,
acha?
commuting from say their place to their, you can say college or whatever.
Got it.
so another pain point could be traveling to and from your home city to the city you are currently staying, but it won't be that scalable because it won't be a very repetitive use case. But
That will just hold on
okay,
that
okay,
thought for now.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll come. Let's first write down all the pain points. Huh? We'll come to
Okay.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
A place to study, finding a place to study, finding a group circle to like-minded people to study.
No, probably I would like to extend that to, because that's like-minded people for study you'll get in probably in your college group, but probably that will I can extend it more to the culture, like
Mm-hmm.
how safe they feel in terms of culture and safety.
Okay. Safety in terms of okay, let's keep both different. One is
It's
safety.
gender neutral.
Haha. Yeah, so let's keep different only safety and fitting into the culture,
Yeah,
right?
fitting into the culture. Yes.
Yep. Any more pain points you want to define, or we can go ahead with prioritizing these?
Yeah, it looks good, I think.
Got it. Yeah.
I think we can
Now
also
let's.
add
Sure.
students trying to get acquainted with stuff like nearby supermarkets or how they can figure out the groceries.
Does this help?
Also, can we add like all the baggage related, like all the things that we have in the current city to the new city? I think that would be the first barrier actually when moving from one to other city. Transfer of all the goods and yeah.
Got it.
We can also add the hunt for domestic helps, basically the staffs, technicians, etc.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, now go to the next step. You have 13 pain points. That's a very good list. Yeah. Generally, during an interview, since we are so many people, we came up with so many pain points. But generally, during the interview, having five, 6 pain points is good enough because one person, the time required for the identifying these things is requires a lot of brain energy. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, now let's try to prioritize these pain points. Okay, tell me how will you go about prioritizing these?
So again, approach would be the most scalable problem uh,
Mhm.
because our end goal is to get maximum users on the application. So
How do you define most scalable?
the
To what
most
extent it is? Sorry.
Sorry, can you come again?
the most common pain point across uh, the maximum students.
Okay, commonality. Okay, and
We
someone.
can add,
Haha.
yes, we can add to what extent that a pain points is affecting the users. Based on that, we can,
Okay, importance of pain point.
And
yes.
also the substitute any product already solving that pain point.
Okay, instead of commonality, can I write frequency?
Yeah, frequency. And
Yeah, because see, it might happen that a pain point is not very common among a big group, but to a good section of your target audience, it
yeah,
happens again and again.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Now
We
let's
can
do one thing. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
we can also add which pain points, solving which pain points will contribute a large extent in our revenue side.
But our goal is not to increase the revenue at the moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll always tie back to the previous parts of the question which we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we define goals as we need to increase our user base. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, can you also think around like how tough or easy might be like the pain points that we're trying to solve, like what we're thinking around?
So yeah, this is one of the things which we need to take care that when we are thinking of pain points, don't also think about the solution. Okay. So when you say how tough or easy it is to solve, then we start thinking of the solution. Okay, so it might happen that a pain point is very big, uh, or yeah, a pain point is very big, but it is not. It is also difficult to solve it. So in that case, we should not say that we will not prioritize the pain point because it might be that you can still solve it with some smaller solutions also, which you are not able to think at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, see, the bigger the pain point for the user, the more alignment will it be in terms of the goal, which is to, which will make it easy for you to onboard the new users. Yeah.
Mhm.
The smaller the pain point, it might not be very much easy because it might not become a very good selling point for you. Yeah. Now let's do one thing. We keep these two in terms of high, medium, and low. Okay. Uh, okay. So language barrier. In terms of frequency, how would you define high, medium, or low?
Right. So, Jayant, I have a question on this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so when you say high, medium, low for language barrier, so are we talking in terms of a particular user, or like how many users are facing this problem?
It would be like how many times a user would be facing this problem. An average user. You have defined a user as a student who is going to a new city for studying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that an average user might be someone who is moving from north to south or who is moving from south to south also. Yeah. Even north to north. Yeah. In India is a very, we already defined that we are solving for only India as a geography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So India is a very diverse city, sorry, country. So still you can face this problem. Now what you are saying is how frequently does a normal user face this problem?
Okay.
I think we should keep it in the medium because
Also give a, yeah, go on.
yes, because normally if we from the point student point of view, we are shifting
Mm-hmm.
we are shifting from cities to which we are familiar with generally. But
Okay.
there are some people who are shifting from like north to south or from east to west. But some languages like English and Hindi are familiar to people. They are not very professional in it, but they understand it. That's why I want to keep it in medium.
Got it. Got it. So for every such pain point, you need to define high, medium, or low as per the criteria what you define, right? Try to keep only two criteria at max because during the interview, it becomes easier to communicate. Okay. And define high, medium, or low. Okay, along with the rationale you give for high, medium, and low. As I was saying, generally you will keep only 4 5 pain points. Then it becomes easier to explain it to the interviewer during the interview.
So I have a different opinion on this one
Mm-hmm.
language barrier. So like for me, I think it should be low because generally what trend we see in colleges is 80% of the population is from around the areas, only 20% is migrating from far areas. So since 80% is generally around the areas, they already know the language or they somehow know how to tackle with it. Only 20% of the population faces this problem on a severe level. So if we calculate the ratio, it is 1:4 ratio. So as an average user should not be facing this problem or high intensity.
Yes, great. So for you, it will be low, and you have given a strong rationale. Yeah.
Mm,
For some other guy, it might be medium, and he will give some rationale. Okay.
mhm.
So they will judge you in terms of how are you trying to give these rationales. Okay. So keep doing these things. It will help you a lot. Okay. Now, since we are short on time, let's select any one problem which but you got your point, na? The problems which are high in frequency and also high in importance and might not have any substitute at the moment, or the substitute might be difficult to use at the moment, you can prioritize that particular pain point. Yeah.
Correct.
One question, Jayant, I like before we
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we were debating on, like, it could be medium or low also. So I was just thinking that there will always be some our personal biases attached to what we assign to the problem statement, like the
how we think from our side. So is like all the answers would be equally acceptable in the interview, or should we give have some data backings to it, like from the interview point of perspective? Because when we solve it as a real problem in the real world, we will have access to data in time so that we can get around the real data, and then we can make our decision. But during interview, we don't have such data and time to get to the correct answer. So how to tackle that particular bias, basically?
Yeah, so yeah, your point is exactly correct that during the real life you will have data and you can find the data to support it. Okay? During the interview, you can say rough data. Like in the previous point, you guys said that 80% of the users are moving within the within say, similar locality or within similar city. Yeah. That problem might not be big enough, or the frequency might not be big enough. So similarly, if you have some data, you already have some data, you can give a rationale. Okay? But it is not always important to have a data because any random ambiguous problem can be asked during the interview. Yeah. So
Okay.
it is not very important, but your rationale should be strong enough. Like the guy who said medium, he also had a very good rationale. The guy who said low, he also had a very good rationale. Yeah. The correct answer will be obviously by seeing what is the data. Yeah. But during the interview, you need to give a good rationale. The rationale brings out in real life what data you would have looked at to prioritize this problem statement. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Huh. So yeah, so you guys tell me which one should we select for now?
I think commuting within new city.
Yes.
Okay, we'll choose this for now. Okay, now we have this problem of commuting within new city. Now we will look for some solutions. Let's try to come up with 4 or 5 different solutions on this.
Jant, I have a question. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
what what does this it basically mean by commuting within a city?
Commuting within a city means, let's say you want to move from your college to your hostel, or maybe a PG outside the college, or maybe you want to move from your college to your let's say to a nearby restaurant. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
One question, Jen, like
mhm.
um, commuting, like will how will it be different for the people who are already living there, let's say for some time, and who is moving newly? Like if there is a constraint on transportation, then it would be affecting more or less equally to everyone. Otherwise, it will be equally good for other folks also. Like,
Yeah, so see, here is how your empathy for the user is tested. So you are you are solving for a student. Yeah.
yeah.
So the students, for example, college entry and exit time would be before 10 p.m. in the college. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while a user has, let's say, just take a hypothetical scenario that he went with his friends outside to a restaurant, and then he will have a constraint that I need to return back by 10 p.m. to the main gate at least. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is a type of problem which you will have to bring out while you are saying commuting within a new city. Yeah. Similarly, let's say some of the uh, these colleges have bus service which allow students to sit for free. They start from the college, they go to the city, take pick up from the college, they drop at
Mm.
they pick up from the city, they drop at the college. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one of the issues with commuting to an within a new city would be I want to know the schedule of that bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So let's take only one problem statement for now. Let's define. Yeah. So as you guys were also saying here, we need to define the problem first. When you prioritize and you need to define the problem. Let's define the problem. Okay. For the time constraint, I'll just say the problem is let's keep it to identify uh,
Options
which
available
sorry,
to identify options available to travel from one place to another.
travel from, let's say, college campus to main city for now. Works?
Hmm. Right.
Okay. Now let's come up with some solutions. Yeah. Can you guys as a group quickly come up with around 4 solutions? Then we'll try to prioritize among those 4 solutions.
So one could be that we could present the schedule of alternate public transport, like we have DMRC in Delhi, something of that sort. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so other could be uh,
Mm-hmm.
that we can tell availability of private taxis, cabs, and their fares maybe on the app, that this would cost you around this much, and a fare we include in the first option also, because the money will be an important part to a student.
Great. Okay.
In addition, with the availability of private cabs and fare, we can have something like coordinating with private vehicle owners, like private cabs or autos, etc. So they are coming to the campus and they have a reasonable price for the students. Uh,
Got it.
we are
Let's
having
go on,
we
go
are
on.
having such type of things in our college also.
Yeah, let's merge it into one only, availability and contacts of private cabs and fare. Yeah. Here also, let's try to keep the solutions as exclusive as possible.
And
Uh,
probably looking for any pooling options of the existing resources, maybe from local candidates, local guys who can do that.
Maybe pool with peers.
Yeah,
Can I write peers?
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah. Hmm. Let's think of one more, then we can go to prioritization of solutions.
Then probably can get alternate modes of transport, in like not the conventional ones, like say probably you can say cycles being made available, uh, e-cycles or e-bikes or something like that. So
Got it. Got it. Okay. Now let's say we have these 4 solutions which you guys have figured out. Okay. Now we need to prioritize which would be the first big thing which we should try. Okay. So generally here also we define some criteria. Okay. One very basic criteria which works mostly in every interview is impact and effort for solutioning, not for problem, but for solutions. Okay. What is the impact of this solution? Yeah. And what is the effort it will take us to build this solution? Here again, we will write high, medium, and low. Guys, are you with me?
yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think one of them could be the one that I can think of is pooling options with peers. So I think it will be
Mhm.
highly impactful, and in terms of effort, I think it can be medium or low, depending
Can
that
you
since
please,
yeah,
can you please
depending
give a rationale also?
yeah. Depending, since we'll be having like an app or a website, and we have other users as well with us, like other peers. maybe they can just drop in a message and say that, hey, I'm going to XYZ place, and if anyone wants to tag along, y'all can come. So I think it really
Mhm.
does not require an effort apart from, building the app. So in terms of that, I feel it will be highly
Okay.
impactful.
So effort is in terms of how much effort we will take to build the app. Okay. It is
Okay.
not in terms of how easy is it for the user to use the app. Okay. And
Hmm.
by default, we should say that every app is easy for the user to use.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. So here, let's say you can say that for this feature, we might want to make a chat app where users can create new threads by saying that pool today at 2 p.m. Uh, to let's say XYZ restaurant from college who would be interested. Yeah,
Yeah.
that type of threads can be created. And then you can say, let's say Discord is a open source community for chat, and we can easily use that in to use that and build our app over it. So the effort will be comparatively lower. So
Okay.
that's why effort will can be medium or low.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
so we can have impact as high on a alternate public transport, and effort as low, impact
hmm
as high, because generally in the cities, like if we take example of, let's say, Bangalore, you do not have a very detail oriented public transport schedule. And in terms of effort, why it is low? Because it's more of a static data that we need to collect and maintain. Uh, and because there is not much effort to keep it on updating, because 80 to 90% of the time it will solve the problem of getting a schedule.
great. Like this, you will put HLNM for each of these, and then you will have a prioritization metric. Now, the solution where you see the impact is high and effort is low, that is the best thing to go ahead with. Yeah, because you can, since the effort is low, you can launch the feature very fast, and you are very confident that the impact of launching it is high. So I will be able to attain my goal of onboarding new users. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah,
Yes.
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 Okay, last thing let's cover is the success metrics. Can someone define what should be the success metric for this product?
Number of people onboarded in the week or month, like in a given time period.
Got it. Again, it should tie to your goal, and it should define are you able to attain your goal or not, and it should be in alignment with what is the solution. Yeah. So can you repeat that? Weekly
Sign-ups.
on
Yeah.
weekly signups. Yeah, that's a
And
good thing to have.
frequency of getting a schedule by a user, was that was also a result oriented, that very high frequency will lead to high user signups.
Okay, so we can say daily visits or weekly
Daily
visits.
visits, yeah.
Travel
Yeah.
time.
How is travel time important?
Basic. I think it will contribute towards how many people are using it.
How? Can you give me an example?
For example, if we are scheduling any transport on some regional on some fair, then the number of people and on what frequency they are using it might be that.
So see here we are going with a solution that we will provide alternate public transport and respective fare to the students, right? So uh, does that metric fit with the solution which we are saying? Because
Mm,
the schedule will be very static only, right? We are not
yes.
scheduling a new bus service for these. We are saying that there is already a bus service. We will make you aware when the bus service when is the next bus or from where you can pick up the nearest bus.
Okay, got it.